Hey everybody, it's Garrett, otherwise known as Gitronist, and I just wanted to highlight that I have this cool handcrafted pen. I got from some museum gift shop, and I'll start with that. Today I wanted to talk about getting ideas for um, creative writing. Now I don't really struggle with writer's block. Um, What I usually struggle with is finishing a lot of those ideas, but for the most part, writer's block is something that I don't normally deal with because I usually have a lot of different ideas to play off of and work with. Um, Maybe when I was a little bit younger, I was struggling with that, but nowadays it's mostly just me, just kind of taking a bunch of different ideas, mashing them together, and seeing what comes out of it. So, I wanted to give just a few different ideas for getting creative writing ideas. So, the first one I would recommend is writing a list, or writing lists of objects, writing lists of people, writing character names, lists of character names, writing lists of your favorite things to do, writing lists of hmm, lists of different countries, different cultures in the world. And really just getting a good grasp on things that you would be interested in basing or setting your stories in, or basing your stories off of. Um, a lot of my writing is science fiction and fantasy related, and so I use a lot of I like taking a very, not necessarily linear, but a somewhat logical approach to science fiction and incorporating, elements of surrealism and absurdism into the science fiction writing. Point being that it all kind of plays and bounces off of itself in order to get a finished story when when it's written and drafted and then proofed and edited. But in order to get those ideas, I usually write down the things that I want to put together and the things that I think would go well together. Um, the second one is just to sit there and follow the muse. If you get an idea, if you get a sentence idea for a story, write it down. If you get a line idea for a poem, write it down. The point being that you want to have these things tracked and recorded so you know exactly what you're working with when you actually get to working on the project itself. So you have the lists, you have kind of writing down sentences and lines. And then hmm, Another idea for brainstorming would be to just give yourself a 5 to 10, possibly 15-minute free write. Usually a 10 to 15-minute free write can turn into something a lot longer, depending on how the session is going. But it really just gets the creative juices flowing, and you can be writing complete nonsense. And maybe it'll turn into something too, like the nonsense itself. Um, I am prone to write jabberwocky out of the blue whenever I'm trying to work through ideas or getting ideas, cross connecting things that are seemingly disconnected is quite fun for me. And then some other ways for kind of brainstorming and getting ideas. You could be, I mean, really, you could also be inspired just by, media and entertainment that you already watch as is. Since I watch a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of documentaries, I get ideas from those. Since I go out and about throughout my day and go take long walks and just kind of explore the world and the city that I live in and places that I want to go to, I get inspiration from those. Obviously, they're always reformulated into a fantasy and science fiction setting, but they're able to find their home and their place in stories. And really, when it comes to writing stories and writing poems, the world is your inspiration. And it is the thing that really brings out the creative, you know, sort of the creative juices in your life to get things moving forward with your creative writing. And that's about all I have for this video. So, hope you like this video. Hope it helps. If you have like lists that you want to write, you can leave them in the comments, and maybe you yourself and others can play off of those as well. Um, One good list idea that I have is that I always write down lists of cities and different places. So, like Boston, um, St. Louis, London, um, yeah, different city names, and you write them all down. And you can try and cross connect them and see what story you get out of that. Maybe it's a flight, maybe it's a jump in time story. Point being, you just want to get those things flowing and working. That's the point of doing creative writing, is getting things flowing and working. So yeah. Anyways, like I said, hope this video helps. Otherwise, peace. I'll do this one.